Look, I get it. I'm a busy guy. I'm always doing things. I'm very productive. I have a full-time job. I have this channel, so much. I usually use my fountain pens for productivity, for getting things done. So today I'd like to guide you through my top 5 picks for fountain pens that will help you to be more productive, to get to writing, to get those ideas down on paper, and to manifest them in the world. And just for fun, at the end of it, I'm going to pick the fountain pen that's probably the worst for productivity. So join me today, won't you, as I pick 5 top fountain pens that are going to keep you productive during your day. I can freely admit I'm not always the most practical. Sometimes I'm matching fountain pens with what I wear in the morning, or if I need an extra boost of confidence, I might grab a certain fountain pen like a Schaefer Legacy or my Cartier Diablo, something that's going to make me feel a little bit better about myself when I use it, that beguiles me with its beauty, just something that gives me a little extra lift. However, there are those other days when I just need to get things done, and I think productivity is very, very important. Not for the most obvious reason that we all need to do things in our lives, but also because if you can get through all those things that are weighing on you, you could be a lot more happy, productive, creative, and enjoy your leisure time because you're not thinking about those 5 things that you had to do that you didn't do. So, for days like that, when I am checking things off my list, when I am blowing through projects, when I'm creating with abandon, these are the fountain pens that I would use. My first choice is the Pilot Vanishing Point. Now, there's a reason why it's my first choice. It's because it is absolutely brilliant for getting things done. And why? Clickability. You don't have to fumble with unscrewing and screwing back on a cap, which does take a lot of time and effort during your day. I mean, how many minutes add up by you just trying to get the nib out so that you can write? That is a consideration with the Pilot Vanishing Point. You can simply click and write. It's fantastic for quick note-taking on the go, for when you're out in public somewhere and you want to take notes at a museum, a library, something like that. Super easy, super accessible, but you're not sacrificing all those things that you want and expect from a fountain pen. In fact, this pen has an absolutely gorgeous 14-karat gold nib that has a bit of spring and bounce to it, so the writing experience is absolutely brilliant. And that means a lot, because as you write, you want something that's going to carry your thoughts along and get you from the beginning of a project to the end. That's the whole point after all. Now I can take some points off. It has a Con40 converter, which is kind of miserable for ink capacity, kind of great if you want to try a bunch of different inks, but terrible if you want to have an unlimited supply to get you through the day. So keep that in mind. Now many people use cartridges that hold much more and then just fill those with an ink syringe, and that does fine. But personally, I actually like the converter, so I use it even though the capacity is not where I would like it to be. But beside that, this has some other benefits as well. It has a clip, which is divisive. We'll get into why in a second, but on the positive side, it's very easy to clip to just about anything, your pocket, your pants, wherever you need to, even onto your journal in some cases. Clip it on, pull it off when you need it. Fantastically easy to use, but it is up by the grip. So if you're someone who wraps your fingers around your pen, this may not be the pen for you. Keep it in mind if you haven't used this pen. I mean, one of the benefits of having that clip there, oddly enough, is that if you're reaching for it without looking at it, you can sort of align your fingers right on it because you know where the clip is, and that's telling you exactly how to orient your hand. So the build quality on this pen is excellent. The price is fantastic at around $200. It's one of the best, most accessible gold nibs that you can buy. It is a click and go masterpiece, a pen that's absolutely brilliant for checking things off, for writing, for jotting notes, fantastic in an academic setting. It's just an absolutely brilliant pen for so many occasions. I adore it. I think it's fantastic, but I have other choices for you as well. My second choice is, I know, maybe you guessed it, it's the Lamy Safari, but there's a reason why I bring up the Lamy Safari so much. This is an absolutely brilliant pen for productivity, and I'll get into why. It's also one of the other few pens that I see out in the wild when I visit clients. It's sort of the pen of architectural firms, of creative environments. I actually do see this one when I visit clients in my work life. But it's also a very light, a very long, very comfortable fountain pen that's made out of ABS plastic, which makes it tough and durable. It's not a fountain pen that you need to coddle to baby. This is one you can toss around, you can leave it on your desk, you don't have to worry. Even the nibs are tough. They're steel, they slide on, super easy to change. There is also such a wide array of different nibs on this pen, from extra fine all the way up to 1.1 stub, which I absolutely adore, and many other nibs in between. So whatever your writing style is, the Lamy Safari has a nib for you. Now, if you get yours new and you haven't had one before and you see a bit of ink on there, don't think that it's used. That's simply because these are tested before they leave the factory. And in fact, here's a little tip. If you want to pick one up at a good price, Amazon warehouse frequently gets these as returns because people think they're used. And then you get a brand new pen that's just been tested and it's fine. So keep that in mind. These pens come with ink cartridges that you could refill, or you can use a Z28 converter, which sometimes a little fiddly, but it certainly works well if you want to have a wide array of ink to use in your daily life. And one of the things that's absolutely brilliant about this pen is that you can pretty much put any ink in there that you like. If it gets dirty, you can soak it. You can field strip this pen very, very easily, clean it thoroughly, get it back in action. So you don't have to worry about anything clogging it up. On the productivity side, it has an absolutely brilliant clip. It's very demonstrative, sort of looks like a bit of pop art, but it's very effective as well. It's going to clip onto anything that you want to clip it to, but I would be careful about clipping it to papers if they're papers that you want to keep nice. This is such a strong clip, it'll sort of emboss your paper with the shape of the clip. So keep that in mind if you're carrying some kind of certificate or something important. It also has a snap cap that's very easy to use but stays on very nicely, so you can get to the nib quickly, get your thoughts down on paper without much worry. It's also very light, very easy to write with, is a very nice shape, but there is one last kind of divisive thing to speak about with this pen. Once again, similar to the Vanishing point, this grip can be a bit divisive depending on how you hold your pen, what's comfortable for you. This is meant to sort of put your fingers in the right spot, but maybe you don't like that, and I can appreciate that. I actually think it would be nice if they sold cylindrical grips to go along with it if you preferred, but what can you do? Personally, it's not an issue for me, but it may be for you, so please keep that in mind. But as a productivity pen, I adore this pen, and it's why it's always within like 5 or 10 feet of me. And I also love the design, but I think it's really hard to find another pen that's as brilliant as this one for writing and for not worrying about it. And at $35, if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. So Lamy Safari, absolutely beautifully designed, very inspiring pen that's a fantastic choice for productivity. But is it as good as my next choice? Well, let me know what you think. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit more specialized, as we should. So there are those days when you are in an office setting and you want the perfect office fountain pen, and I think I found that for you. This is the Platinum 3776, an absolutely brilliant fountain pen for those days when you're at the office. You want something unassuming but sort of powerful that is a fantastic writer that's not going to quit on you, that's going to be there for you when you write and as you move through your day. So for me, there's often piles of papers that I need to sign, so the screw cap doesn't really bother me in this instance. I'll unscrew it, I need to write for a while. I need to sign my name probably 50 times, and this pen just is brilliant. It's just a beautiful signature nib. The nib is so flowy and so precise and beautiful, and makes my signature look fantastic. It doesn't have that sort of gumminess that you feel with a roller ball or a ballpoint. You know, I try to stay away from those pens, but occasionally I have to at work. But anyway, with this pen, so smooth and precise, it's absolutely brilliant. It's also good for those meetings where I'm taking notes. I leave it uncapped. It doesn't seem to dry out or have any false starts, and I can just write at my leisure while I'm paying attention to whatever the presenter is saying. And for me, aesthetically, I want a pen that's going to fit in with my work life, but not call that much attention to it. And this black and gold design is classic, just fits right in. And I love the proprietary nibs from Platinum. I love any company that produces its own nibs, and Platinum is absolutely brilliant at having very consistent quality control at every level of their production, from something like the Preppy all the way up to this pen and beyond. Very impressive. Their nibs are just a really nice specific experience. One of the other things that's really nice about this fountain pen is that you can leave it for weeks and the ink seems to be fine when you return to it. There's something about Platinum, they're just very, very good at this. Maybe their caps are just that good. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, if you're an occasional pen user, maybe a couple times a week you have to sign something, but you want a nice pen to sit on your desk, this is also a perfect choice. You know, I just think it's another one of those just perfectly chosen fountain pens. It's very unassuming, but it has a sense of power about it. It's not like you're making up for any kind of insecurity by having a glacier star on there. This is an unassuming pen. It's very quiet, but very powerful. It shows your confidence. It shows that you're particular about your writing experience, but you're not looking to impress anyone. This is all about you, your expression. You want to get through your day being productive and accomplishing the next thing. Maybe you're signing some huge merger and acquisition with this. It's an important pen for important circumstances, and I adore it. With the perfect proportion and balance, I feel the Platinum 3776 is really difficult to beat. However, my next choice just might be a better choice. Let's see. When I'm considering productivity, I want a fountain pen that I can write with quickly. And there are few choices as good as the Macrolon masterpiece known as the Lamy 2000. This fountain pen is made out of very humble materials, Macrolon, aluminium, well, 14 karat gold on the nib, so I guess you got me there. But certainly the rest of the pen is very durable, very tough. And that nib is so soft, expressive, fun to write with. It is a hooded nib, so slightly different experience, but it is something that you can really get used to very quickly. This is the fountain pen that I would bring with me. Just so easy to write with, so beautiful and inspiring. Different sorts of materials, and I find that interesting. It's like a juxtaposition. It's really intriguing. Now, there's a few things you should know about this pen. I feel like their nibs are just wider than they're supposed to be. The medium feels like a broad, a fine feels like a medium. I don't know what a broad would feel like. I never used one. It just feels like a really broad experience, so keep that in mind. So this is a pen that's just perfect for creative productivity. It's a fantastic design, courtesy of Gerda Mueller. It's very light in the hand, but does feel substantial enough that you feel like you're writing with a quality writing instrument. For around $200 and some, it's priced well. It's a piston fill, which is absolutely brilliant. It just has a lot going for it. It's just an interesting, inspiring pen for creative individuals. So I adore it. I hope you would too. But do I like it as much as my next choice? That's a tough one. You know, as I'm going through this, I might have to add an extra one, but my next choice is an absolute beast of a fountain pen that's just perfect for productivity, and this is the Gravitas Monster. 7 milliliters of ink. This is a high capacity fountain pen that's shaped like a lava lamp, that's large, but yet is designed that it just feels very nice when you write with it. Now, it has a nib that's custom made to Ben Walsh's specifications, and that gives you a lot of precise and smooth writing. It has a twist-on cap, but it's a quick twist, so it's easy to access that nib and to get to work quickly. So I feel that this is a fantastic pen for productivity for those days when you're doing a lot of writing. You don't even want to think about the possibility of running out of ink. You just want to stay at your task and just keep on checking off those things that you must get done. Fantastic for long note-taking sessions. And the fact that this pen is so easy to clean, easy to disassemble, means that you can put pretty much any ink that you like in there, though I tend to use Pilot inks. It just is so flowy and such an interesting writing experience, and looks so pretty sloshing around in there. That medical grade acrylic is so clear, so pretty, such a great substance. The brushed aluminium's really nice as well. It's just a very well designed fountain pen with very strict tolerances, where when you use it you get a sense of that it's solid, that it's put together well, that every little bit of it has been considered. All the parts are reinforced. You don't have to worry about it failing as you go through your day. Plus, it comes in a really nifty case that's going to protect it, and you can then bring it with you if you're traveling or any other situation. The vac fill also will seal off the reservoir, giving you plenty of ink down in the feed section, but it's also fantastic if you're worried about something happening on an airplane or in travel. Now for me, I do a lot of transcribing, both with studying handwriting and in studying Italian, which is something I've been working on forever. And this pen is really fantastic for that. So good for an academic setting, good for any occasion when you need just a lot of ink. So Gravitas Monster, fantastic choice to keep you productive. It was supposed to be my final choice, but there's one more I feel I would be remiss if I didn't share. So stay tuned for that. My final choice is a fountain pen that hasn't been on the channel in a while and needs to come back, so here it is. This is a fantastic fountain pen for productivity and one I reach for often. I'm speaking about the Twsbi Eco. Yes, why Twsbi Eco? This is a fountain pen that sort of distills down the essence of what it is to be a fountain pen. A piston fill, a nib, a demonstrator. You can see what's going on in there. You can use different bottles of ink. This is fantastic at $36. You just get so much, pretty much the entire fountain pen experience. And it also comes with a very wide range of nib options, and that's brilliant. I have it in fine, extra fine, medium, and the 1.1 stub is brilliant. So I adore these pens. I also love that I can put any ink into it that I want. So when do I use these pens? Personally, I use them when I'm getting creative with things like mailings and correspondency. So anytime I'm getting ready for Christmas, I usually start early, do up my Christmas cards, and I do it in a very special ink. I usually use Tesla coil, something like that, that's very interesting and just fun and festive. I don't have to worry about a shimmer ink or a sheen ink in this pen because it's super easy to clean and just an absolute joy, and it keeps you productive. So really can't say enough about Twsbi. I mean, you could buy a Twsbi fountain pen and then really not use anything else and have the entire experience. So how great is that? Well, I promised you the worst pen for productivity, and I thought really hard about this, and I feel like I have come up with the perfect choice, and ironically enough, it's one of my favorite fountain pens. You may have guessed it already. Did you? Let me know in the comments, but here you go. The absolute worst fountain pen for productivity is the Mont Blanc Bohème. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a fantastic pen, but you have to assemble it like a hobby kit each time you use it. Now, I can be impractical. I carry this pen around. I use it at work. I sign things. People have to wait like 3 minutes for me to assemble it. And then they look at me like, what are you doing? But that's just me. I think if you're really focused and trying to get a lot done, it's not the best pen for that. It just takes too long, even though the writing experience is brilliant, and it's hard to beat those older Mont Blanc fountain pens. And this one is beautiful in every iteration. So yeah, that's probably the worst one for productivity that I can think of. Well, what do you think of my choices? Let me know in the comments, and if you have suggestions of your own, please put them in the conversation. I'm sure people will go there looking. I would appreciate that, so thank you. And if you've reached this point in the video, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you along on this journey with us. We go to some interesting places. And if you want to help the channel even more, consider becoming a member. We have a lot of fun stuff behind the scenes, and for Illuminati and Cognoscenti members, we have a pen pal group that you can join, which is a lot of fun as well. And I'll even write you a letter of welcome. So I make new videos all the time, and I have a live show each week as well. So I can promise you one thing, and one thing for certain: we will see each other again very, very soon, further up the road. So take care, and thank you.